Now at 10, an area pharmacy deals with a shortage of at-home COVID tests as demand increases. Plus, the U.S. breaks its record for most COVID cases in a single day. And an area principal says farewell after 55 years at the same school.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
At-home rapid COVID-19 tests are flying off the shelves at a pharmacy here in the 4 states. This is KOAM News at 10. Try to find an at-home test, you might have to wait a bit, according to Adam Fletcher at Prater's Pharmacy in Webb City. Fletcher says their primary supplier of these tests has been out for months now. That shortage, combined with the spread of the Omicron variant and holiday travel, means tests that they're able to get are going fast.
So basically, it's first come, first serve. If we hold something, sometimes people won't show up, and then you don't give it to somebody else that could have received one. So that's tough. But if you're here, we'll gladly sell you one if we have them in stock.
Amazon, CVS, and Walgreens have recently started to limit how many at-home COVID tests a customer can buy. Kansas reports a record 7-day average for new confirmed and probable COVID-19 cases. State Health Department data shows Kansas reported an average of 3,134 new COVID cases a day for the 7 days ending yesterday. That's 13% higher than the previous record set in mid-November of 2020. The U.S. is seeing unprecedented COVID-19 numbers as the Omicron variant spreads unchecked all around the country. The CDC says the new strain now makes up 95% of the nation's coronavirus infections. Reporter Danya Bacchus is in Los Angeles with the latest on the pandemic.
The U.S. has shattered its single-day record for COVID-19 cases with over 1 million new infections reported Monday.
This Omicron tsunami has changed the game yet again.
Many experts had predicted a major surge would follow the holidays, but what's less clear is when it might end.
The next 4 to 6 weeks will be the most challenging time of the entire pandemic.
The numbers would likely be higher if more tests were available. At-home kits are in high demand, and long lines remain at many testing sites.
Well, it clearly is more contagious, more transmissible, and it looks like it's reaching levels that almost approximate measles.
President Biden noted that there is no vaccine shortage as he again urged people to get immunized.
We have in hand all the vaccines we need to get every American fully vaccinated, including the booster shot. So there's no excuse for anyone being unvaccinated.
The White House says 500 million free COVID-19 tests will be available to order online, though not until later this month. Danya Bacchus, CBS News.
President Biden today also said the first batch of Pfizer's COVID antiviral pill shipped out on Christmas Eve, and 10 million treatment courses will be delivered by June. It's getting cold out there. Nick Kelly joins us.
I know, something we don't want to talk about, Dow, after we had highs back near 50 today, but it is winter after all. Mother Nature's sending a cold front our way to make sure that we don't forget that it is winter and January on top of it all. 30 this morning, but again, nice to see a high of 51 degrees, back above normal for this time of the year. We've just been going in and out of the clouds throughout the course of the day. More cloud cover trying to sneak back in overnight, but nothing underneath the clouds right now, and certainly not enough moisture to bring any threatening weather our way with the approaching cold front. But once that northwest wind kicks in behind the front, boy, we're going to be quite a bit cooler for tomorrow, that's for sure. Right now, we're still trying to hold on for as long as we can with temperatures in the lower to middle 40s. But as soon as that front kicks in, everyone will drop back into the 20s, Joplin around 26 to get your Wednesday morning started. And even with partly sunny skies tomorrow, Dow, that north breeze will only mean 30s for highs, and that sets the stage for some snow chances on Thursday. I've got the latest on that coming up in a bit.
Catch you then. The Carthage School Board approves a plan aimed at hiring more substitute teachers. Under the new plan, retired teachers and paraprofessionals would see a pay increase of $20 per day of substitute teaching. The district is also hiring up to 12 full-time substitutes who will be available when the district needs them, and they're making substitute pay consistent across the district.
COVID has made it the matter more obvious. And we've always had problems finding subs, but COVID has kind of taken away maybe some of the veterans who would come and sub for us. And just the idea that being around a bunch of kids might make them a little nervous. But hopefully this will allow us an opportunity to bring some people back.
Retired support staff, custodians, and food service workers will also see a pay increase for filling in those positions as a substitute. Carthage's Mark Twain Elementary said farewell to its longtime principal, Laurel Rosenthal. Laurel Rosenthal started as a teacher at the school 55 years ago. After 21 years of teaching, she became principal for 34 years. She says she plans to spend retirement traveling and with family, but she's going to miss working at the school.
I think I'll miss every day seeing the staff and the students and the camaraderie. We're more like a family. I've always tried to have it be just like a family here, and that's what we are, and I will miss that.
Rosenthal has won several awards over the years, including Carthage's Citizen of the Year. We wish her well in retirement. Coming up, new data shows a record number of people quit their jobs in November. Plus, a jury reaches a verdict in the trial of Elizabeth Holmes, accused of defrauding investors. Data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows a record 4.5 million Americans voluntarily left their jobs in November. That's a 3% quits rate, which matches the high from September. The number of vacant jobs fell to 10.6 million in November from 11 million the previous month. The U.S. reached a 52-year low in the 4-week moving average of unemployment benefits last month. That meshes with the number of people quitting, since unemployment benefits are generally not available to workers who voluntarily leave their jobs. If you have an old BlackBerry stashed away somewhere, well, it might not be working any longer. Today marks the last day of services and software for the old phone. That includes data, text messages, and phone calls. BlackBerry Android devices will still work unless they redirect email to a BlackBerry address. A jury has convicted the founder of a failed blood testing company after a nearly 4-month trial. Elizabeth Holmes told investors her startup Theranos could find abnormalities in tiny blood samples. She was found guilty of 4 counts of fraud and conspiracy. Anna Werner reports.
A stoic Elizabeth Holmes held the hands of her mother and husband as she left the San Jose federal courthouse Monday afternoon, moments after the verdicts were read.
She did not seem to react at all.
Reporter Emily Saul has been covering the trial for the podcast Bad Blood, The Final Chapter.
She just continued to sit, impeccably straight and listen. Other than that, there was no obvious reaction to the verdict itself. After they left, she, exchanged hugs with her family.
Holmes had been considered a visionary who could change the biotech industry with technology she claimed could test for hundreds of health problems with just a few drops of blood. She left Stanford University at 19 to found her company Theranos in 2003. In 2015, she spoke with Nora O'Donnell for CBS Mornings.
It sounds genius, but what about those who say that's not enough blood to do all the tests that need to be done, especially if someone's very sick and you're trying to figure out what it is?
Every time you create something new, there should be questions. And to me, that's a sign that you've actually done something that is transformative.
She was indicted in 2018. Although she was found not guilty on 4 charges involving bogus test results for patients and the jury deadlocked on 3 additional counts, they did find she bilked investors out of their money using false claims about the tech that Theranos had developed. Former prosecutor Michelle Hagan says Holmes likely sealed her own fate with investor calls played for the jury.
One of the investors recorded the investment call where she made these statements which turned out to be false. So I think her own words incriminated her.
Each count comes with a potential sentence of up to 20 years. Holmes, of course, can appeal. But the Theranos legal drama is not over. Next up is Sunny Balwani, the former COO of the company. His own trial is expected to begin in February. Anna Werner, CBS News, San Francisco.
NATO plans to hold a special meeting with Russian officials on January 12th as tensions rise in Ukraine. All NATO ambassadors and top Russian officials are invited as both sides seek dialogue to prevent open conflict. Separately, NATO will hold a virtual meeting of NATO foreign ministers on Friday. Russia's military buildup in and near Ukraine and border European security issues are on the agenda. A little bit later, a snowstorm in Virginia left hundreds of motorists stranded for more than 24 hours.
But first, after we had highs back near 50 today, we've got a cold front on the way tonight. Snow chances for Thursday. We'll break it all down next. It was nice to see temperatures back above normal for a nice change of pace, certainly after our cold weekend to kick off 2022. And even though we had quite a bit of cloud cover throughout the day, the strong south and southwest wind gusting near 40 at times, especially earlier today, that did the trick to warm things up. We're still looking at quiet skies, so right now, as temperatures start to turn cooler from indigo sky just outside of Seneca, Missouri, the official high in Joplin today at 51, certainly warmer than our average high of 44 degrees. And unfortunately, the banner gives it away. Another cold snap's on the way with a cold front on the way in tonight. Behind it, the north wind kicks back into gear. Instead of highs above normal, we're going to go back below normal with highs in the mid to upper 30s for tomorrow. Setting the stage, believe it or not, for another shot for snow as we go into Thursday. For the time being, though, we're still looking quiet. This shot from 7th and Ridgeline has been quiet all evening long, and it will still stay that way, even with the change in the weather coming in later tonight. For now, 47 in Joplin still, with the southwest wind at 18, gusting near 25, and it's making it feel like 40 degrees outside, despite a more warm-ish breeze in place. But you can see how the northwest winds are kicking in our far northwestern counties. That is the approach of the cold front. The colder air not quite working in yet, though. Most of us are still in the lower to middle 40s. You factor in the breeze that's in place, though, it all feels like the mid to upper 30s across the region. But like I said, and you saw that first glimpse already, that Canadian cold front that was coming in from the north yesterday, it's knocking on the door, and that is going to bring some of that colder air bottled up in the Dakotas our way. Not the single digits that Rapid City is seeing, but it will be noticeably colder for tomorrow. As we continue to go back and forth between mostly clear and partly cloudy skies overnight, there's not a lot of moisture with this advancing cold front, so we're going to stay dry for tonight and a good deal of tomorrow. But this upper level wave that developed earlier today out of Montana, that's working across the northern plains now. That's the wave that's going to bring in some more moisture and enough lift to bring snow showers down the line. But again, that's not for tonight. We'll just go back and forth between mostly clear and partly cloudy skies. But again, as that north breeze kicks in, we're going to see the colder air roll in. Everyone starts in the 20s to start your Wednesday morning out. Partly to mostly sunny skies will be nice to see, but it doesn't do a lot of good since that colder air means we're going to be about 10 to 15 degrees colder compared to today. 26 in the morning, 33 by noon. I only see us topping out near 37. At least the breeze will be lighter at 5 to 10. But again, it's a northerly breeze, making sure we stay cold as that upper level wave brings in mostly cloudy skies starting tomorrow night. And then as we head toward Thursday morning, here comes that wave with more moisture and more lift. That'll bring in some bands of mainly light snow in mainly the northern half of the viewing area. But you can see how this mainly is Thursday morning affair, our snow chances. We'll get things out of here while we stay quite cold in the 20s for Thursday afternoon. But as far as expected snow amounts, this has been fairly consistent. For any of us that will see the snow, these amounts continue to stay between a dusting and an inch. But if we can find some heavier bouts of snow to overcome drier air in a few pockets, I would not be surprised if we had to up the amount slightly for a few of you. But a big snowstorm this is not. But it will take us from 37 tomorrow to 23 on Thursday, 38 Friday, so dry to start the weekend out, but once rain chances work back in Saturday and into Sunday, we'll be back in the 30s on Sunday.
Looking like January.
Pretty much.
Thanks, Nick. Traffic is moving again along a major interstate in eastern Virginia to the relief of hundreds of people who are stuck in below freezing temperatures. The I-95 corridor was shut down in both directions following one of the biggest snowstorms to hit that region in years. Deborah Alfarone reports from northern Virginia.
The traffic nightmare along Interstate 95 in Virginia stretched into the morning, with drivers growing desperate for a way out.
I've been stuck just south of Quantico, Virginia, on I-95 for at least 15 hours.
Jim DeFeeti, a reporter with CBS 4 in Miami, was among those who got stuck following Monday's severe winter snowstorm that caused icy conditions and multiple crashes.
I haven't seen a state trooper in at least 12 hours. I haven't seen a tow truck in at least 14 hours.
Images like this played out overnight, with hundreds of people left shivering in their cars for hours.
There's someone walking toward us. This is scary, because they could be easily wiped out by a sliding vehicle.
Many took to social media, pleading for help, including this parent with a 4-month-old in the back seat.
We haven't seen a plow truck or a police officer in 7 hours.
Virginia's Department of Transportation says traffic became blocked in both directions of I-95 as crews worked to clear disabled trucks and plow snow.
People have been working through the night. The National Guard is on standby.
More winter weather is expected to hit the Mid-Atlantic region beginning Wednesday. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Washington.
Officials say the interstate has reopened. Coming up in sports, the Kansas State Wildcats hit the field for the Texas Bowl against LSU. And the Webb City boys aim to stay rolling at home against McDonald County. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
Well, the Carthage Tigers have been one of the hottest teams in the area to begin the basketball season. Carthage is 9-1 overall and won a tournament title at Rolla last week. Now, tonight the Tigers try to stay rolling with a big game at home facing the Nixa Eagles. And Nixa is really good too. They're 8-1, currently ranked 3rd in the state in Class 6. Fast start for the Eagles. Colton Berry turns and hits it. Then Jarrett Nelson driving for the easy lay-in. Now, first bucket of the game for the Tigers comes right before the first quarter buzzer. It's Joel Pugh. It's 13-2 Nixa after one. Into the second, Carthage tries to close the gap. Pugh from the outside. He leads Carthage with 17, but Nixa would stay in control. Back to Nelson. Two-handed jam. He scores 10. The Eagles beat Carthage tonight 57-40. The Carthage girls also in action at home tonight. It's a tough one for them, facing the 12-1 Stratford Indians. Carthage falls in that one 64-37. Tigers are 5-7 heading into Thursday's road trip to McDonald County. Well, speaking of McDonald County, the Mustangs are in Webb City tonight facing the Cardinals. Now, these two boys teams have been on a roll to start the year. McDonald County just finished second at the Neosho Holiday Classic, while Webb City 6-2 in their first 8, ranked number 8 in the state in Class 5. Early on, Caden Turner, 3 from the corner for Webb City. Then Cole Vaden, nice look to Trey Rotes. Cardinals up 11-3. Rotes goes for 9 points, 11 rebounds. The other end, smooth pull up here from Cross Dowd. Webb City, though, up 7 after the first. Dante Washington got hot in the second. Washington 14 in the second quarter alone. Finishes with a game-high 25. In the third, Cards start beating up the rim. Trey Rotes gets up for the dunk. Then look at this. Washington puts it up for Caden Turner. He puts it down. Finally, Turner on the break. He goes for 14 points, 12 rebounds. Webb City cruises by McDonald County tonight, 84-53. In the girls' game in Webb City tonight, the Cards facing Nevada, aiming for their 3rd straight win. Webb City gets it done, 54-37. Sammy Mancini leads the way with 24 points for Webb City. The Cardinals are back in action on Thursday, hosting Logan Rogersville. In the SEK tonight, the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons on the road for a doubleheader against Chanute. And the girls' game, Pittsburgh gets its first win of the season, 42-35. As for the boys, nice win for the Purple Dragons. They take down the 9th-ranked Blue Comet 67-52. The Kansas State Wildcats finish up the football season tonight. K-State's playing in the Texas Bowl this evening in Houston, facing the LSU Tigers in their season finale. The Wildcats were 7-5 overall in the regular season. Tonight's game still going. K-State leads 28-7 in the third. Deuce Vaughn has 2 rushing touchdowns, while Malik Knowles has 2 receiving touchdowns for the Wildcats. The Kansas City Chiefs will finish up the regular season on Saturday, hitting the road to face the Denver Broncos. Now, the Chiefs head into the final week with an 11-5 record after dropping Sunday's game to Cincinnati. And right now, with the number 2 seed in the AFC playoffs, to still be the 1 seed if they beat the Broncos on Saturday and the Titans lose to the Texans on Sunday. Although they're playing on a Saturday, losing a day of preparation, head coach Andy Reid says the team will be ready to go to make sure they grab some momentum before the playoffs.
We've got to have a good week of practice.
Don't care if it's Saturday, Sunday, whenever we're playing, we're playing. That's the kind of locker room I've got. They roll with it. It's a little bit of a sudden change for everybody involved, the whole organization getting ready. But Denver's doing the same thing. So, and they want to win the game too. So that's we've got to make sure we're ready for them.
That's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Charles Stout Jr. served in the U.S. Navy from 1950 to 54. Pittsburgh native was stationed in Korea and China. And we salute Gunner's Mate 3rd Class Charles Stout Jr., a 4-state hero. Building with Legos can stimulate creativity among kids, and that's exactly what the Museum of Creativity in Fort Scott is going for with its Lego Club. The club is open for kids ages 7 to 18. Sorry, I guess I'm too old. It features a different theme each week the kids can build around. The top build each week will be displayed in the museum.
Today we're doing Lego Club, and the challenge is to build a park playground type thing. So it's interesting to see the different directions each kid takes with it, and fun to see how they create those with the different pieces.
The club meets every Tuesday from 4 to 5 p.m. Costs $1 per child. Do you ever really outgrow a love for Legos?
No, and we have a little man, he's 6, and he loves Legos. He's all about it.
Yes, and I'll bet Dad is too.
Yeah, I love doing it. Yep.
Yeah, like I tried playing around with them for a bit. I could never do much than build a tower.
He's better than me.
Yeah, towers are fine. Towers are good. The weather, it's going to be cold for a while.
Yeah, cold front on the way tonight. Knocks us into the 20s tonight, 37 tomorrow, and that sets the stage for an upper wave Thursday. So we'll watch for snow showers Thursday morning.
Final sports notes.
It's rivalry week for Pitt State and Missouri Southern basketball. They square off on Saturday. We'll talk about that right here tomorrow night.
Terrific. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget the morning show, 5 a.m., and let's make it a great tomorrow.